Aloha, everyone, and happy sunset to you all. Aloha, Dale and Lance and Sue. We did a hike around Diamond Head, and as most of you know, we dropped the stream off, and that's very frustrating. So we just thought we would pick up the stream where we could actually get a connection, and it just happens to be this beautiful sunset. How beautiful is this? I'll let you just enjoy this a little bit. We're on Facebook and YouTube right now. Aloha, Michelle and Daryl and Ruth, not the daughter, and Mara number 5, Linda, Lancelot again. Yeah, we're going to walk along this park that we usually walk along going the other way, but let me show you just a couple of cool shots I like. I love this shot. I figured some of you could use this. I think Mayreen and Cat Roy, who are going through a horrible situation, if there are any other viewers or members who are on here or going to be watching the replay, our thoughts are with you for the damages that you may have faced with Hurricane Helene. It's horrible how terrible. I don't want to get too political, but I think it's atrocious how little our government is doing right now. I have very strong feelings for that. Hello, guys. Thanks for being on YouTube a little bit. That really helps out. Happy belated 36th birthday to the godmother. I'll spend a little bit of time here just so. Are you wore out? You're ready to get home and get some chicken and shrimp? This 5 and 7 mile trek is for the birds, isn't it, Lucille? So I cannot ever remember the name of this. It's so embarrassing. I can't ever remember the name of this park. It's such a beautiful, beautiful park. And this is the most people I've seen here ever. But the people who come here are, a lot of them are, they're doing like a yoga class. They do these really cool yoga classes here. It seems like they do, like it's a lot of UH people that come here, University of Hawaii people that come here. Not a lot of visitors and tourists and stuff. Hello, Ruth, not the daughter again. And Mary. Yeah, she does, doesn't she? Isn't she beautiful? You look so beautiful. You have dirt on your face, you know that? Right there on your side of your face. Giving her that mineral water helps those dark circles under her eyes. It just takes about a month or so, they said, sometimes a little longer. All right, we're going to do this walk here. I'm going to do this walk. I want to do it in such a way that you'll be able to get as much out of this sunset as possible. But the problem is that, not the problem, but just the challenge we're going to face is some of the splashes. So if I have to move the camera very quickly, that's the reason why. You'll know why. But there's some really beautiful, beautiful visuals along this way here. There's this walkway back behind these really nice houses. And I don't know what I'm waiting for. These waves are not going to go down. If we get wet, we get wet. Ugh. So how about this for a beautiful view, huh? Let's just sit here for just a second. Probably the worst place we could be just sitting, but I'm going to. You can see all the sailboats out there. I may not be able to watch your comments here really quick for just a few minutes, just because I need to concentrate and be holding her. This is such a beautiful shot. I love this shot here. I'll hold you for some screenshots if some of you want them or not. These are some beautiful, beautiful houses here back behind me, or not behind me, to my right. There's a Holokai, there's the Mai Tai, there's the new big gray catamaran out there on the far right. It's out there kind of in the middle there on the far right. But how about this beautiful view, huh? This just shows you these steps. Whoop. See those cool steps? They were functional at one time, but look, they're so old. Just shows you how much the beach is eroded. In the whole time that I've walked this whole thing, I've never seen it low enough to where you could literally walk on the beach. A little bit of it, but not a bunch of it. A little bit of the beach, but not a lot of it. Let me try and see what this looks like back here. See what this does for us. Yeah, I want to do this for you guys just for 1 second, just so you can. I see this every day, so it kind of falls on deaf eyes, or blind eyes, I should say. But let me let you enjoy that for a moment. All right, guys. I also took some additional video and footage and images for you for later. Lucille and I do this probably the last month or so, maybe only twice a week, but we normally do it like 3, sometimes 5 times a week, where we go around Diamond Head the other way. We always go up Kapahulu and down, and so the sun is rising, so we get the opposite of this view. The sun never rises right there. The sun rises about over Lanakai Beach, so all you get is the real glow. But so the sun, between the sunset and sunrise, this is the position that you want. This is the direction you want at this time of day. But isn't this beautiful? Now we'll come up on another park right up here on the right hand side, which is rarely busy at all. And this is as most beaches are, that's a public beach right there in front of us. But almost always, even with all of my evil promotion of this park and explanations and showing of it, it's never very busy. And I think it's beautiful. All these crabs. There was a turtle right over here when we first came down here yesterday when we were coming in the morning. And I've never seen a turtle here before. And it was back there about probably 80 yards, 100 yards. And it was just a solo turtle. That's all we saw. There could have been 50 of them, but we only saw the one. Let me let you take a look at that there. Perfect. There's been something, I'm not sure what it is about the feeling, and maybe it's me, and maybe it's the biometric pressure, maybe it's a time of year or something, but this time of year in the fall in Hawaii, and here you go. More so this week than any other. The first parts of the week, and this is just a visitor incoming issue, and that is that on Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, barely anybody's coming in, but they start coming in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So the inbound of visitors is quite high. And so what you end up seeing is you see like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not very many people on the street, not very many people in the restaurants, but then it really starts opening up. And today you start seeing that. So it was almost a little bit, oh, sorry, Lucy. I'm sorry. She had one big old drop, hit her right on the cabeza. Sorry about that. So it's kind of not dank and dark, but it's just kind of slow. But boy, today it started jumping up, and everybody starts that feeling of I'm on vacation. The streets are really busy. Yeah, so I want to start going back and let you see some of these other parks. Let you see the glow. Isn't this a beautiful park? How's that water? did it hit your onion? The people who are that you could tell are residents or locals, which are 99% of the people here, they give you not a pleasant look because they don't like that you're promoting this park. And they'll even tell you when you're not on stream, they'll come up and talk to you a little bit like, why are you promoting the park, man? I don't know if Cat Roy or Mayreen, I think it's Mayreen, lives in the path of Helene. But just know that our thoughts are with you. And just know that I myself, I'm just really disgusted with the politics of this disaster. I mean, I don't even want to get into the dollars and responsiveness and conflict of interest and the opposition of funding for other projects. But it's horrible, in my opinion. I think it's disgusting, frankly. I'd have a little bit of both, and I mean, you can use your cash card anywhere. Cash isn't really that much of an advantage here. Are you American? You can bring cash dollars. If you're coming from Canada or Australia, obviously there's an exchange issue, but or an exchange consideration. But you know, I think just for safety, you know, maybe I would just guess maybe 75% of your budget in a cash card and the rest in cash. But know this, that there are no mainland ATMs or banks on Hawaii. No Bank of America, no First Interstate, no Wells Fargo. And your fees are between, I think someone maybe can tell me, between $2 and $3.50 for ATM withdrawals. Go to Michelle. Janet, could you respond to Michelle there, maybe in writing? But all you do is you send her a private message. There's a little message link. You just hit a message, send it to her, put it all in one little one message. And I have two screenshots from Terry. One has 7 different messages. One has 5 sending the same information. And what do you think Terry wants to do with those 2 people? One of the messages said, oh, I know Tony said only send it 1, but I wanted to send it 2 because we had this information, but oh, I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong phone number. Let me just do it all again. So they did it again and they did it wrong. So they did it again. I have screenshots of it. Terry is very, very good about screenshots, especially when she's angry. Hello, doll. Aren't these houses just cool? Right here. I love this time of day. Actually, the opposite of this time of day, 6:30 in the morning, coming down this street. Lucille has a bunch of friends. They're usually out this time of morning. Older people are out here walking their dogs, and she's got a bunch of little friends that come out, and we have they have their little get-togethers. But it's the same type of feeling during the day. It's the sunrise and sunset, and it's just beautiful. Yeah, for tips, if you're going to go, regarding the money, if you're going to go to places like Kaimuki, some of the smaller towns, they appreciate cash better. It's not like they don't take cards, but some might. Like the one store that comes to mind for me just right away is the Crack Seed store. And I don't know that they don't take cash. There's Diamond Head back behind that. I could have given you a better view of that. I'm sorry. But I would just bring cash, just because there's some places along, and when you're doing a Circle Island tour, especially if you do it on your own, you want to stop at some of the local shops. They may appreciate cash more. Thank you for that, Janet. I appreciate that. Is it easy? It's like any other state, contrary to what people may want you to believe. It's like any other state. It has good, bad. It has its challenges. Pricing would be one of them. Geography would be the other. It does cost a certain amount to live here, but it's no different than anywhere else. Don't let anyone tell you. Well, let me back up. Let me clarify that by saying there's a security guard right there. He just waved me off, but I'm just going to show you this really quick. Isn't this a beautiful shot? Janet, this is where you need to live. I looked at this building right next door to me here as a place to possibly live. How's that? Yeah, he's not happy. Well, there's a lady on the back porch having a little cocktail. She doesn't like that I just took that video either. I get it. I wouldn't want someone that looks like me over here either. Some dreg of society. You can get a place like a 1-bedroom in Waikiki for about $2,400 or so. And obviously it runs the range based on, just like it does anywhere else, but it just depends. Cars are expensive because of insurance, number one, and because you have to have parking. There's no street parking, and almost no accommodation has parking included for free. Many of them have it included, but it's not for free or available. It's just not free. Just want to walk on this side for a change. That's Queen Kapiolani Park right there. And that is the star of the show. Cabeza Diamante. I don't even know if that's how you'd say Diamond Head. All right, brother, man. Lance, be careful. At the job tonight. In moving here, the more money you have, the less problems you have, you know, with moving. That's all there's to it. Because they are building right now nine, count them, 9 high-rise buildings right now with condos. And if you're buying those condos, you're probably not, you know, taking a local out of a housing situation. But we've talked about my views on the local housing. I mean, and I know that there's people who have lived here longer, they were born here, they're natives, all that type of thing. I understand that, but I have a very, very good understanding of real estate market, homes, home buying, that type of thing, the upsides, downsides, who's really going to be buying them, staying in them. You know, the economy just isn't what it should be here in Hawaii. The Hawaiian government needs to take a 60-day sabbatical or a 60-day period of time with a dry erase board and get everybody in a room and say, okay, listen, how do we make money in Hawaii? How do we run Hawaii like a business? First off, you have to replace every politician. That's number one. Number two, you have to come from a perspective of how do we make money in 3 phases. One phase would be what can we do right now in the next 1 to 3 years? And that span is a very, very, very important span. It may not take 3 years, but it's probably going to take 1. So in that 1 to 3 years, what are we going to do? Let's call that the immediate period, beginning stage. What are we going to do? And we can come up with 10 things that we need to do that's going to make money for the state, and that how can we get some of that money down to the residents? And you do that by increasing pay across the board, pay teachers more, pay first responders more, pay police officers more, which means it's going to put more money back into the economy, yada, yada, yada. And then come up with a 2-year to 4-year plan. And that 2-year to 4-year plan would dovetail and overlap that 1 to 3-year plan. And that 2 to 4-year plan would be secondary income. What activities, what steps can we take? What programs can we put into place that are not dependent solely on tourism? What industries can we develop? Can we develop produce, farming, agriculture, technology? I think technology would be one of them, but you're going to have to import a lot of people because in a 2 to 4 to 5 year period, you're not going to get the personnel natively from people here in Hawaii. You're going to have to import them from, you know, mainland and other places, and then have at that same meeting come up with a 5 to 7 year plan. And that's going to, a 4 to 7 year plan, and that will overlap the 2 to 4 year plan. So if the 1 to 4 year plan or 3 year plan needs more time, you have it. If it doesn't, then just move that 2 year plan down the line a little bit. If you get ahead of yourself, move that 2 to, you know, that 3 to 7 or 4 to 7 year plan down. But you have to start taking the money that's available, one, that's already being spent today, right now, this minute, this afternoon, this week, this month. How can you make better use of that money? You have to replace the politicians and redo and undo some plans that have already been into place too long. And then, you know, like this resort fee that all these hotels and stuff that are charging, there's that resort tax, whatever. And I've talked about this before, and it's obviously a very fantasy based, but you need to somehow, and I know there's so much that goes into this, but this is a conversation that needs to happen. Somebody needs to go to the hoteliers and say, Mr. Hotelier, you need to start charging, make up a number, $2 on every room stay that goes directly to this ABC fund. And this ABC fund is going to be ran by 6, 9, 12, 15 local, native, some politicians, people you trust, and majority rules. And the rules they put into place goes into place for 3 years. Can't change after for 3 years, and you can start campaigning to change those rules in year number 2. And take that $2, which is a fantasy, made up, stupid number, and there is an agreed to administrative fee of 10%. That's it. 10% to administer, collect, and distribute that funds. And those funds go directly to the natives and to local programs. And you would solve about 50% of your problems. I wouldn't legalize casinos, but I get it. That's a really good information resource. But it does so much bad. And I think it's bad. It would be bad for the people who are here. It just there's other ways to make money. Here's a reason why I don't think we should do casinos, because you have the best casinos right here, right now. Casino like money, and that is the hotels. They're bringing in money right now, today, this afternoon, right now, this minute. They're bringing in registered guests, and I guarantee it, if you put just like the resort fee, if you slip in an extra $29, $39, what's now $65 per day on these people, they're going to be upset. They're going to blink. They're going to be upset. They're going to be complained. But over time, it gets absorbed in the business. But what you can't have is what the resorts did do, and that is just put that $65 out there on top of an amenity fee, on top of the VAT tax, on top of everything else, and just pocket the money. You can't have that happen. I personally think the money that is needed to turn the economy in Hawaii around is here right now. It just leaves the island. It leaves the island because they have stupid politicians. Very, very simple. Very simple. I am intimate with how the finances of a hotel works and how that money gets moved and not moved and taken out, not taken out. I know exactly. There's nobody who's going to tell me something I don't know about that. I don't know anything else, but I do know that. I do know that. Isn't that beautiful? Wish that guy's headlights wouldn't be on. Look at that. We should come and take this photo someday, huh? With all the cars away. And that's the rant for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of wish you didn't log in for this sunset stream, huh? Oh, there's Star of Honolulu. I love how rustic this is right here. This has been here since 1918 or before. Oh, and there's a turtle right there. I just saw his head in flippers. Oh, maybe we can see him. It'll be so difficult to see him. I can't even point to where he is. He just out about where this chain link fence is on the left. He's straight to the right of there and then out about 10 feet. Maybe we'll see his head come up. Oh, man. How pretty was that with the sun? Yeah, I don't think we're going to see him. Let's look at this. Come on, turtle. You know, I used to see, and I don't know if it's oh, there he is. He's right out there. He just came up. Maybe in the replay you can look, and now he just straight dead center of the screen. His head came up and then his tail flipped again, or his flipper flipped up. And this is beautiful. Did they make this go all the way through now? Wow, look at that. They sure did. This was closed off for a long time. This is where I think they should do. They actually have done this. They've done Queens Luau here a couple of times. Let me put you up here. This would, how beautiful would this place be if they just clean this up? There's stages already there. They have bathroom facilities here already. And just look at this view that they have. If they did a luau here, huh? Look at that. Beautiful, huh? I used to see turtles here all the time, but I haven't in a long time. And see, notice this, and see how sandy it is right here? It's not like that all along here. So it breaks up. It's really, really rocky and it's sandy here. So that really makes it good for turtles if the tide would go down, but it doesn't go down like it should. I mean, just imagine if you even liked even the suggestion of some of those things, those items I was telling you about, just imagine if someone smart kind of put some of those ideas into play. You just need someone to run it like a business. Look at Hawaii. Where are you making your money? From tourism, whether locals or residents and natives and whatever want to believe it or not, that's a fact. So how do you make more money off of that? You either increase the outgo or you increase the income, or you ideally do both. So you increase the resort fees or divert. What should happen is some of the hotel companies should divert some of their already high fees. I'm talking about $1 or $2 that goes unobstructed and unmolested right from the hotel right to the government agency. And the government agencies, again, don't take 50% to allocate and account and administer. If they took like 10%, which is all they really should take, and, you know, if the people are really, really interested, they should get volunteers, you know, to work on some of those committees and then start putting some of that money to use, get back into schools. They need to work on education in Hawaii big time. I think every kid, look at those big old crabs. I think every kid in Hawaii should get a full ride scholarship at any college in Hawaii that they want. You know, there's not that many. And just imagine if you got every kid who could qualify grade-wise gets a full ride scholarship, man, at any vocation they want, that'd be a game changer. And I think we need to give the true Native Hawaiians, the 3,000, 4,000 of them or whatever, give them an allotment on money for property or property allocation or something like that. And then the people who I think who have been like first line or second line after them, they should get a piece of it, because piece of a housing allocation, just because of how things went with the issue of statehood. And then just forget that topic and move on and stop complaining about it. Let's get them some money, get them satisfied, and let's move on and move in the future and get over the past. A lot of people who get upset about that will have not heard anything I said before that, and will only hear I said get over it. And they're going to be cursing me in the comments or in the DMs you watch. But that's, you know, that is what it is. I don't care. I think they should get some money. But there's ways to get it, and the way they've been doing it for years and years and years is not working. Make it work. Make it work. It's an easy process. You just have to implement it. Run it like a business. I don't think it's all drama. I think it can be made into drama, Aaron. There are so many talented kids here, and the smart kids. They just need, you know, the education. They need to be they need to be that lady. I don't want to shine or take her photo, but there's a lady on the right of me here with her little dog. Take her photo. How's that? Everybody is in Waikiki in their hotel rooms, the lights coming on, taking some showers, getting ready for the night out. How about that? Let me just show you. Let me get over this fence here for you guys a little bit. Oh, let me go on this side. This is Barefoot Beach Cafe, of course. God, the food smells so good tonight. There's their new band. Their previous band is now playing at Pauhana. Yeah, fix the homeless problem. It's easy to fix that too. It just takes time, money, and some participants. You know, you're going to have people that divide the people that are homeless into three categories: people who want help, don't want help, and those that need help and aren't willing or able to get it. And sadly, that is a percentage of the people, but it's not a big percentage of the people. And then now provide help with the people that want help, and those that don't want it. That makes such a small percentage. You're not going to legislate integrity for a law. You're not going to legislate somebody to want to be institutionalized. And that's a bad way to say it, but that's frankly what the term is, institutionalization. But give small housing projects. You know, do it, test it, try it again, test it, fix what doesn't work, try it again, test it, fix what doesn't work, try it again, test it, and then you have a working plan and then move on from there. How's this? I should have taken a photo of that, but I have Lucille in my hand. Do you realize in LA, these numbers are wrong? Right off the bat, I'm telling you, these numbers are wrong, but they're within this range. They're in this range of astonishment. In LA, they have $2 or $4 billion annual budget to aid and help the homeless, not to fix it, but to help the homeless situation. That's $2 to $4 billion. I know that's a huge diversity in amounts, but it's about that. It's a ridiculous amount, $2 to $4 billion, right? And it's worse today than it was 5 years ago. It's worse 5 years ago than it was 5 years before that. The top person makes I think the top person that administers the homeless program in LA, I believe it's either $1 million or right at $1 million. $900,000 is their annual income. I think the next 18, I think it is the number. You can look all this up. It's somewhere around these. These numbers aren't exact, but they're within, again, this range. The next 18 people make over $500,000. Now, the people that administer and help that fund along, the $2 billion fund, how motivated do you think they are in fixing a problem that's going to put them out of business, that's going to put them out of their pension fund, put them out of their $900,000 a year ridiculous rate? How motivated do you think they are? Not very. And that's the top 19 people. First person's $1 million. The next 18 are like 500 grand or more. And those are administrators. You think they're motivated to fix this problem and get put out of a job? Not at all. And if you want any proof of that, go to Venice, California. Go to downtown LA. They won't do the most rudimentary fix-ups. They won't do it. That's your friend? What's that? Paul? He does? Would he mind if I shot him?
Yeah. Hey, Paul.
Gee, Merry Christmas.
I was going to do that anyway, but thank you.
Awesome, dude. Unbelievable.
Thank you, man.
How is that shot right there, guys? Huh? Look at that. With Waikiki in the background. Beautiful, man. You're super talented. Super, super talented. How about that, guys, huh? Little concert in the park. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So just a programming note. On Friday we have the musical venue tour, and I'm thinking about how we can do that. We're obviously not going to be able to see them all. So what I thought I would do is I would do this in 2 parts. But there's an issue with doing it in 2 parts. I thought I would do all of Kalakaua on Friday for part 1, and then do part 2 like 2 weeks later and do Kahio, because down Kahio there may not be as many as Kalakaua, but there's some in there that need to be shown. Lalo, Shorefire. I would put cuckoo coconuts along that route, and I just don't think that there's going to be enough time to show them all. And I'm not going to go in and we're going to sit and listen to music for 10 minutes. We're going to go in, show you what the venue is, show you what it looks like, because a lot of people may not want to go into a venue just because of the way it looks. It's too small, it's too big, it's too whatever. So I just want to show those options to you. Also on Kahio would be the Secret Spot. That's a great new live music venue I'd like to show you. So, and we may make that call right on the spot, whether we do all of Kalakaua. But what we will do is we're going to walk from, if we do Kalakaua, we're going to start right there at the Starbucks and walk all the way down Kalakaua and end up at Pauhana, which is at the other end of that marina over there. We'll listen to their music a little bit and then come back for the fireworks at 8 o'clock and watch that. They're doing the Gandhi statue revealing. They redid that whole statue, and they've been doing this ceremony for about 2 hours now. Thank you guys for being on Facebook and YouTube both. I really do appreciate that. I know it's a total pain that I ask you to do often, probably too often, but I appreciate that you going on there making comments and give me a thumbs up or even a thumbs down. It doesn't matter. Here's a guy on a phone, riding a bike on the sidewalk. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Guys, watch this. There's let's do this real quick. Just because this is, I know we see this shot a lot, but it's just really pretty when we're doing it on sunset. How about this, huh? Thank you guys for Mara number 5. That means a lot on YouTube. I want to do more nighttime streams, you know, just walking down Kalakaua to show you how the nightlife a little bit, how the nighttime crowd is going. I just think it's too late for, it's not too late for the New Zealand and Australia people, but it's often too late for everybody else. How's that? Beautiful, beautiful. See the sailboats going along the horizon there. Yeah, like I say, the sunsets take so long to go down here, which is beautiful. I'm glad it does. Here you guys go. Here's a nice view, I think. Yes, for sure. Like and share the stream on Facebook. Means a lot. The algorithm really has been jumped up a lot lately because of you guys. Have you had enough of this, Lucille? Lucille's like, how many sunsets and sunrises are we going to look at? How many are you going to force me to look at, man? I want some salmon and liver, man. Eggs and some rice. These sunsets are for the birds. It is not lost on me that inside all of those hotel rooms are people who 6 months ago were planning this trip, saving and planning and worrying. Am I going to get my flight? Am I going to get the time off? Is something going to happen? Am I going to have enough money? Did we book the luau the right way? Did we did we get the right room? Is it too much, too little, too late? Now they're here. And they're in those rooms, hopefully on their lanais, having a drink if they're so inclined. And now they're going to come out onto Kalakaua and go to a beautiful dinner, and just all that months and months and months of worry has been paid off. Now they're happy and relaxing. At least that's what I like to think is happening. This will be a good indication if you guys would like to see some of these nighttime streams. At least, well, you know, this walk that we do down Kalakaua from time to time, or Kahio. Let me know if you guys would like this at night. This will be kind of what we're seeing now. It'll be a little bit more busy if we go a little later at night. I'm just concerned about it being too late for most of you. Carol without E, this little sucker eats better than I do often. She gets her meals made once a week or once every 2 weeks. She's a spoiled little sucker, to be sure. There's one of the music venues. Friday night, we're actually going to go up and show it to you. So we're going to be shucking and jiving on Friday night, but that's the Twin Fin right there. Some of you have been there. They changed their location for their music, but they also have a little speakeasy right back in that little corner. I don't know if it's active now, but they have it decorated seasonally, I believe. I'm going to ask Michael Miller, their manager, about that. But there's the venue for Twin Fin. Well, look what I put her through. Of course, she deserves it. DK Steakhouse, and the other restaurant name I can't think of the name of. That's the Marriott, one of my favorite properties. You can see the fire pits over here on the far right. I'm sorry, far left with the blue, light blue, pink, and yellow lights. You see that very small fire pit on the far left. They have a very small music venue. You can see the musical person right there, the musicians right there on the glass right there. Looks like they're setting up. And that'll be something else on Friday night. There'll be, because of the time of day, there may be some venues that are just setting up, but you'll at least get an idea. You're welcome, David Smith. Thanks, Mara number 5, for staying around. We don't say enough about this Italian place here, this Orancino or Orancino, however you want to say it, right there where the tea lights are on the right-hand side. They have a second, or their first location, I think, is down the road on Beach Walk. Not Waikiki Beach Walk, but Beach Walk. Where's Yacine when you need him? Dun, 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 dun. La, la. It's just a nice little vibe at night. Tomorrow night, the Thursday, Friday nights, the Friday nights would be when I would do live streams because most of you would be more apt to watch it late. But of course, this Friday night, we're going to do the music venue crawl and tour, which will end up at Pauhana, and then we're going to come back and watch the fireworks and wrap it up. That's the Alohialani right here. They have a music venue in there, but not, in my opinion, sadly, not worthy of stopping in and showing you. I would just point that out. We'll just walk along the beach here and point it out. And I don't know why they don't. It's just not a strong presence that they just choose not to have. Of course, at check her out. Look, are you pouting now because you're That's the hotel with the, see the multicolored lights. Those rooms are like 9 to 12,000. They're, each floor is a suite. Are you so tired? Hang on. Let me do that there. Is that better? That's a better way to carry her. She likes it better with her feet up. I think they closed the one Outback Steakhouse. I believe they closed that, and I think it's now a Brazilian or Portuguese steakhouse. I'm not sure. There's the Hyatt Grand Regency. Oh, you know, someone asked this the other day, and I actually looked into this. They were asking about proper North Shore uh, hotels, and there really aren't, not really, there aren't any North Shore, as you would call North Shore hotels, with the exception of, because when most people think of North Shore, they think of Haleiwa. However, as the north latitude and longitude is, there is a hotel that's further north than Haleiwa, and that's the uh, Courtyard Marriott, and that's the Courtyard Marriott that's right beside or just north of Polynesian Cultural Center. And it's not, it wasn't. The rates were not that bad. Then there's another property that's down by Kaneohe. I think that's the last run of the Waikiki or trolley right there. I think that's it. Paradise Bay, it's a smaller property, but it's right on the bay. And it was like $190 a night. That's Hyatt. That's their, right there is where they have their buffet. It's called the buffet restaurant right there. That's their huge spa, whirlpool. There's their pool, and there's one of their two bars up at the top. But they have other facilities on the inside down here on the lower level. Lots of retail spots here at Hyatt. I'm going to Spartan kick this plant guy if he jumps on me. We've had words before, and I've explained to him that that's not a great thing to do. He did that when I was carrying Lucy about a month and a half ago. I saw him, and he still jumped, and I just stopped and told him, hey, man, not cool. There's one of the queens of Kalakaua right there. Hey, man. Yeah, if you're not interested in the music venues, it'll still be a great nighttime tour of things to do, because we are going to mention, I mean, we're not going to walk by an entertainment venue or a hotel or something happening and not mention it. So we're going to be talking about a lot of different things too tomorrow, Friday night. I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah, the Outback that was there, it's gone. 100%.
He instituted the Sabbath day, which is Saturday, and he instituted marriage. And today, the majority of the world are distorting what he established. Wow. God's people have never been the majority. God's people has always been the minority. Jesus Christ is the rose from the kingdom is why.
We don't stop and show you this enough, I don't think. There it is. A facsimile of the original.
Yeah.
You have to, or you don't have to, but I do. And I think residents have to give people who are here, see, when I'm walking through here, sometimes you'll see me kind of move way to the side or kind of move like this really quickly just to get out of the way of people. I know I may seem grumpy when I talk about the people on the bikes and scooters, but that's a different ballgame. But I'm very, very, very forgiving about people who are here on vacation. They're with their husband and wife and kids. They walk in. I mean, they run into me all the time. And that doesn't bother me at all. I think it's because they're looking, they're taking in everything. And it's such a sensory overload to look at this open air here. I mean, and even on the street, it's just so sensory overload seeing all these, they're in Hawaii. I mean, the last thing they're worrying about is some ding dong walking towards them with a camera and a dog, They're enjoying themselves. They're soaking it all in. So if you see me, sometimes they'll run into me and I say nothing. That's how it should be. I want them to enjoy their times, not worry about things. Not worry about, I'm just saying that because like two groups of people ran right into my arm. All right, we were gonna do this sign off right here, but we're going to do it a little closer to the street, so maybe we can get some people to look at us and think we're crazy as hell. See, this would be a place here that I would stop by. I really think we should do Kahio as a separate. I really do, because we would have to zigzag and go back and forth too much on a stream. But right inside here, there are actually two bars, but one little music setup. And the music setup is right there on the other side of that ice cream stand. And just a footnote, an important footnote. You know the guy Kahana, Nathan? Lance knows who I'm talking about. The band that plays at Kanikapila on Friday nights. Do you know who I'm talking about? Kanikapila. They play here on Wednesday nights. A fantastic, fantastic band plays right there on Wednesday nights. It's just fantastic. Okay, do you guys want Lucille to do this? Do this one? Just clean your ears up and your face up. You still got that dried seawater on your face. All right, guys. 4 L's. 4 L's. 4 L's. Hopefully you laughed, learned, loved, and liked the stream. Like it down here or down here, whichever it is on your Facebook or YouTube. Here you go. Tell them, Lucille. If this is your first stream, hopefully it's not your last. And if it's your last stream, you've got big problems with me. And hopefully all the other streams that you watched led up to this one and made this one worthy of your last time. And know that Tony and I love every second, every minute, every hour, every day that you let us show you Hawaii. Kiss them. Aloha.